all the vocabulary of Unit 1. Yeah, we have translated all the words and phrases along with their definitions, okay, and word types, etc. Today, inshallah, we're going to start lesson 1A, okay, lesson 1, unit 1, of course, lesson 1 or lesson A, okay. So, what do you mean by the right question? What do you mean by the right question?
الجواب الصحيح.
The correct.
والسؤال الصحيح.
Yes, right. So, what do you mean by research and theories? Research.
والنظريات.
Okay, so this
بحث النظريات.
could you tell me, have we finished this page? Could you remind me?
No.
هل انتهينا من هذه الصفحة? Okay, so
No.
dear students, that's great. So dear students, what are we going to study today in lesson? I mean in lesson A. So as you can see here, we are going to study. What does this icon stand for? Yes. What does it stand for?
Vocabulary.
Yes, vocabulary. Yes, vocabulary. Yes. What else? Yes, vocabulary. What else? What about the second? Reading. Excellent. Then
listening.
Listening. Excellent. So what do you mean by research and theories again?
نظريات.
Yes. Alhamdulillah, have a seat. تفضل. Research, what do you mean by research?
بحث.
Okay, and theories?
نظريات.
Excellent.
نظريات.
Yes, right. So now, dear students, think of some examples of big questions. Try to think of some examples of big questions. You know, there are many big questions that engage our mind.
Are we alone?
Are we alone in this universe? That's right. What else?
Who created the universe?
Who created the universe? The universe. Yes, right. What else? Okay. Now, dear students, why do you ask these questions? Do you know why? Sorry. Why do you ask this question? Or these questions? I'm sorry.
To know the answers of them.
Yes, to know the answer. Yes, right. What else?
Because maybe no one have ever answered it.
Because no one has what?
Ever answered it.
Okay.
Solve it.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes some questions. Sometimes, yani, for some people don't know the answer of some of these questions. But as Muslims, of course, we know most of these answers. The answer, or I mean, most of the answer to all these questions. Yes. So who created the universe? Allah the Almighty created the universe. Are we alone in this universe? No, we aren't. There are still angels. Okay. هناك ملائكة. Okay. And even, you know, devils, وشياطين, etc. Okay, dear students. So, have we found the answers to all the big questions? هل وجدنا الإجابات على جميع الأسئلة الكبيرة؟
No, دكتور.
No. So there are still some questions that need to be answered. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, dear students. Now, look at exercise 2. Read the text and compare your answers to one. For example, why do we ask questions? Why do we ask questions? It seems that humans are born with a curiosity about how the world works. That's it. Children often ask questions like, why is the sky blue? And what is infinity? And as we grow up, we continue to ask questions. Questions that challenge the way we behave and think about things, and can lead to big improvements in not only our understanding of how things work, but also in how we work. Dear students, do you have any difficult word? Yeah, or phrase?
No.
Okay. Scientists and mathematicians and philosophers, scientists, mathematicians and philosophers have found the answers to many questions, but there are still plenty of mysteries, okay, to be solved. We are still not sure how the universe started or exactly how the brain works, and there are still many unsolved medical problems. Very often, the challenge is to ask the right question. As Albert Einstein said, once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes. Okay, dear students, what do you mean by scientists?
عالم.
Okay, so but here it's a plural now. What about mathematicians?
علماء رياضيات.
Yes, those who are expert in math. So what about philosophers?
فلسفيين.
Yeah, yes, right. So what do you mean by brain?
عقل.
What do you mean by brain?
دماغ.
1 minute.
عقل.
Please. Yes.
عقل.
Okay. So dear students, again, scientists, mathematicians, and philosophers have found the answers to many questions, but there are still plenty of mysteries to be solved. Brain, again, what do you mean by brain?
عقل.
Okay. So when we mean, the organ that controls or sends messages to the body, okay?
Yeah.
So it's the organ. I mean المخ, okay? ولكن العقل is something else. يعني تلاحظ ان هنا الشيء المادي الفيزيكال or the physical organ العضو الايه الجسدي اللي هو البرين ده المخ، اوكي. لكن العقل يعني mind شيء معنوي اكثر. العقل شيء معنوي اكثر. So that cannot be seen. Okay. So dear students, brain. What about, look at this exercise. I mean exercise 3. Match the questions from A, B, C, D, okay, with the photos here. I mean 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, dear students, we have 4 photographs here. Hope that you could see them. Then we have 4 questions. For example, why do we dream? Which photograph?
Number 3.
3. Yes, right. Then how old is the universe? How old is the universe? Is it 1, 2,
1.
or 4? 1. Okay. Number C. Have aliens visited the Earth? What do you mean by aliens?
4.
4.
Okay.
Picture number 4.
Yes.
فضائيين.
Yes, right. So it's number 4. Then, dear student, do we have free will? Do we have free will?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So
Yes.
which one? Which photograph?
2.
Number 2.
Number
Number
2. Yes, number 2. Okay. Now, dear students, what do we mean by free will?
طريق مفتوح.
I mean free will. Yes.
Like
Yes. يعني so it means it's as if we say هل الإنسان مخير أم مسير؟ اوكي. في بعض العلماء قالوا يعني حسب ما أذكر قالوا مخير في الفعل مسير في الإرادة. مخير في الفعل ومسير في الإرادة. اوكي. ده بعض آراء العلماء. في علماء آخرين طبعا قالوا إيه يعني I should translate this into the Arabic language so as to understand this important point. بعض علماء آخرين طبعا أضافوا أن الله تعالى سبحانه وتعالى علم بعلمه القديم أن هذه الذات البشرية لو أن لها قدرة مستقلة على خلق الأفعال لنفسها أو لذاتها فأرادت أن تخلق لنفسها مثلا الإيمان يعني لذلك خلقها الله تعالى إيه مؤمنة. يعني for example if we have a student for example we have Hamad. Can you hear me Hamad?
Yes.
Okay. حمد فهد عبد الله عبد الرحمن. اوكي. طبعا اخترت حمد على باعتبار ان هو الاسم الاول. اوكي. طيب يعني ربنا سبحانه وتعالى اختار هلا يعني علم بعلمه القديم ان حمد لو ان له قدرة مستقلة على خلق الافعال واختيار الافعال والاشياء لنفسه لاختار نفسه ان يكون مسلما. وضحت؟ ده بعلم ربنا القديم. لذلك ربنا سبحانه وتعالى خلقه وجعله مسلم وقت وجوده. اوكي. وعلى العكس من ذلك طبعا غير المسلمين او الملحدين خالص وربنا اقام عليهم الحجه في انفسهم بل الانسان على نفسه بصيره ولو القى معاذير. يا ربنا سبحانه وتعالى بيجيب لا ولا ربنا سبحانه وتعالى وما كنا معذبين حتى نبعث رسولا. ده كلام منتهي. فموجز الموضوع يعني عشان ابسطه لكم يعني في القضيه دي ان ربنا سبحانه وتعالى عالم بعلمه القديم ان الذات البشريه دي لو ان لها قدره مستقله على خلق الافعال لذاتها فاختارت نفسها الإيمان على سبيل المثال لخلق الله مؤمنة وهكذا. وضحت؟ ولله الحجة البالغة سبحانه وتعالى. حتى الملحد ربنا بيقيم عليه الحجة في ذاته بيعرفه إن هو ملحد إذا ربنا أراد تعذيبه فبيجيب له بيعرض عليه الإيمان ويدي له بصائر يعني هواتف وكذا 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 وأشياء في بصيرة الإنسان نفسه ولكنه بيأبى أن إيه إلا أن يكفر. لذلك ربنا بيجعله خلاص ملحد أو بيخلقه على إلحاده. وضحت؟ أو يتركه على إلحاده بعد ما يديله إنذارات ويعلمه يعني زي ما قلنا الآية واضحة بتقول بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذير. Okay, so dear students, this is what we mean by free will. Free will طبعا اللي هي الايه how can we translate this phrase? What do you mean by will?
حرية الاختيار.
Yes, right. Okay, so dear students, let's check your answers. I'm sorry. So dear students, how old is the universe? Do you know?
عليك أنت حطيت رقم جوالك. والله معليش والله.
Again, dear students, I'm sorry. You're
Yes.
welcome. That's okay. That's okay. How old is the universe? Do you know?
Anything?
Billions of years.
Yes, millions of years. Yes, maybe billions of years. Okay. So, dear students, do we have free will? Do we have free will?
Yes.
Okay. So, why do we dream? Do you know the answer?
Thinking too much about the things.
Okay. So, have aliens visited the Earth?
Maybe.
Maybe long
Okay.
time before.
Yes, maybe. Okay. So, dear students, we are going to check some of these answers according to the writer of the book. Dear students, look at exercise 4. You are going to listen to 4 people talk about the questions in 3. Okay, so we're going to these are the questions in 3. Why do we dream? How old is the universe? Have aliens visited the Earth? Do we have free will? Okay, so we're going to listen to 4 people talk about the question in exercise 3. Then decide, are the statements here true or false? If they are true, leave them as they are. If they are false, you are going to correct them. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So, dear student, as I told you before, we need to answer a listening question, don't listen. Okay? I mean, don't listen at once. I mean, you should postpone listening. Leave listening after reading and looking at the given material. عشان تجاوب وتحصل أعلى درجة في listening ما تسمعش. So, but first, try to read the material, the given material, and look at the photographs if you have, look at the conversations if you have, okay, and etc. So, let's read first. We dream to help us remember everything that happened during the day. So don't listen, just read. We dream to help us remember everything that happened during the day. Number B, Hubble's observation suggests that the universe is over 10 billion years old. Okay. Number C, the speaker doesn't think the aliens exist. Number D, the speaker thinks we have free will. Again, the speaker thinks we have free will. And here we have 2 photographs that could help, okay, understand these statements. Dear students, do you have any difficult word or phrase? I have A, B, C, and D.
Hubbles. What does it mean, Hubbles, doctor?
So, do you know what do you mean by Hubble? Hubble?
No.
Okay, so the Hubble is known as the Hubble Space Telescope. So it's a telescope.
Okay.
You know?
Yes,
I think
Created
yes.
by a person who called Hubble. So
Yes. Yes, right. So, dear student, what about, is there any other difficult word or phrase that you don't know its meaning or their meanings? Okay. Now, dear student, let's listen to 4 people talk about the questions in 3. Okay. In exercise 3, and decide, are the statements true or false? Then correct any false statement. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, doctor.
So let's talk about the first talk to the first person
1.
or speaker.
Scientists estimate that about 25% of the time we're asleep is spent dreaming. But why do we dream? Some experiments suggest that dreams help our brain to organize information. Each day, your brain collects a lot of new information. This could be something very simple, like the color of a car you saw, or something more complicated, such as an exam you prepared for. Your brain decides which information to forget and delete, and which to keep stored in the memory. Research shows that dreams play an important part in this process. 2.
Okay, so we dream to help us remember everything that happened during the day. Is that true or false?
False, teacher.
False. So what is the correct answer or the correct statement?
The brain decides
Dreams help
which
brain
information to forget or
Information to
remember
forget
the
or
information.
delete it.
Yes, okay. So the brain decides which information to forget or delete. Okay? Okay. What about number 2? So is it true or false again?
False.
Number 1, false.
False. Okay. So what about number 2?
Edwin Hubble, an American astronomer, created a new instrument, the Hubble telescope, which is powerful enough to measure light from 10 to 15 light years away. Hubble's observations have provided evidence that supports the Big Bang theory. According to the Big Bang theory, the universe was smaller, denser, and hotter than anything we can imagine. Then, suddenly, it exploded. In less than a second, the universe went from being smaller than an atom to being bigger than a galaxy. Astronomers estimate that this happened approximately 14 billion years ago. It is important to note, however, that a significant number of scientists believe that the Big Bang theory does not explain how all the matter in the universe came from nothing. It seems that more research is required before we can be sure.
Okay. So what about B? Is it true or false?
True, teacher.
True. Okay. So let's
Over
listen.
10 billion.
Yes. So dear students, at the same time, you can make use of the listening transcripts at the end of your course book in this way. So on page 114, you can find the listening transcripts. I mean, you can read and listen at the same time. ممكن تقرأ وتستمع في نفس الوقت. Okay? So if you don't know the meaning of a word or a phrase, you can or couldn't understand a word or you couldn't listen carefully to a word or a phrase or even a sentence, you can read them.
Teacher,
Okay?
I'm sorry, what is the page number?
It's page, the page number is 114.
14.
114.
Okay,
So you can read. So this the first speaker, okay, and this is the second speaker. Edwin Hubble, an American astronomer, created a new instrument. I mean the Hubble telescope, which is powerful enough to measure light from 10 to 15 light years away. Okay. So, dear students, what about number 3? So let's go back.
3.
There's a website I read where they talk about all the strange things in the sky that people see. You know, UFOs, that's unidentified flying objects. Every year, hundreds of people see things in the sky, like bright lights, and nobody knows what they are. But I think they are alien spaceships. And it's all top secret. The government knows that there are aliens out there, but they don't tell us because they don't want people to be frightened. But I'm not scared, actually. They probably are very friendly.
Okay, so this is number 3. So, dear students, what do you think? The speaker doesn't think of aliens exist. Does not think aliens exist. Or
False,
thinks.
teacher.
So false.
False.
So what is the correct statement?
The speaker thinks that bright light in the sky
Yes.
are alien spatial.
Are alien. Yes. Are alien spaceships. Yes, right. So dear students, that's it. So what about number D? The speaker thinks we have free will. So let's listen.
When we make a decision, do we really make the decision? Do we have a choice? Let me explain. When you put a shirt on in the morning, how do you decide which shirt? Let's say you chose the cleanest one. Why? Because you have a tutorial today, and society tells us to wear clean shirts, not dirty shirts, for tutorials. So we don't make a decision. It was already made. We just don't know it.
So dear, what do you think? Is it true or false? I mean, number D.
It's false by the speaker.
Yes, according to the speaker, you mean?
Yeah, according to the speaker.
False.
It's false because.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So as you said, dear students, decisions according to the speaker or speaker 4, decisions are often made for us by society or social pressures. Okay, so dear students, this is his own point of view. Okay, now dear students, let's go to another point. So would you like to share the screen? I mean, to share the answer to your classmates, to send them, or to send it?
Yes, it's better, teacher.
Yes, okay.
Screen.
So.
The last question.
Yes, this one. Done?
Yes, teacher, done.
Okay. Thank you so much, brother. Now, dear students, let's have a quick look at this pronunciation check. What do we mean by pronunciation? Excellent. So what do we mean by syllable stress? Syllable. What do you mean by a syllable? If you cut words into pieces, okay, or into small items, we call every item or each item a syllable. So what do we mean by a syllable? What do we mean by a syllable, dear students? Sorry. Yes. So again, dear students. Sorry. So one word, okay, could have more than one syllable. So a word could have one or more syllables. For example, what I say, for example, complicated, significant,
معقد.
yes, powerful, interesting. So how many syllables do these words have? When I say, for example, interesting. Okay, so three. Let be three syllables. So once a word has more than one syllable, it could be called multi-syllable word. A multi-syllable word. Do you know what I mean by multi? If you have more than 1 million, okay, so it could be called a multi-millionaire. So what do you mean by multi here?
متعدد.
Excellent. So, in the same way, when we pronounce multi-syllable adjectives, what do we mean by adjectives again?
صفات.
Excellent. So when we pronounce multi-syllable adjectives in English, we usually stress one of the syllables. So what do we mean by stress?
تشديد.
ضغط.
Okay, so which means that when you pronounce when you say an adjective or a multi-syllable adjective, when you pronounce it, you could notice that there is one strong, or there is a strong syllable. One of the syllables is pronounced strongly or stronger other than the other syllables. Is that right? When I say, for example, complicated. So let's listen, good students. Okay, when I say, for example, complicated, so what is the stressed syllable?
Complete.
Okay, so the first syllable or the second syllable?
First.
First, okay, good. That's great. So what about when I say significant? See?
Second part.
The second syllable, yes. What about powerful? Powerful.
First.
Is it full or power?
Power.
Power. So power is the first syllable. Yeah, the first syllable is, or the stress is on the first syllable. Power. So this, what about when I say unidentified? Defied, yes. Or dent, I'm sorry, dent. Yes, so dent here is the stress syllable. Dent. The first for complicated, we have come. Okay. Significant, we have the second syllable. Okay. In powerful, we have the first syllable. Dear students, a syllable should contain or include a vowel, one vowel. يعني الكلام ده يعني المقطع في الكلمة لابد أن يحتوي على حرف متحرك عشان so as to be able to identify syllables. حتى نستطيع أن نتعرف على مقاطع الكلمات، يبقى لازم نعرف إن المقطع الكلمة لابد أن يكون به حرف إيه؟ حرف متحرك. A, E, O, O. I'm sorry again. A, E, O, I, or U. Okay. So, dear students, what about important?
First syllable.
Is it M or potent or port?
Oh no, potent.
Potent. So port, you can say port. Okay, so important. Port here is the stressed syllable. So is it the first or the second syllable?
Second.
The second syllable. Yes, that's right. Now, dear students, look at exercise 5. And of course, here we can see the vocabulary icon. Now, dear students, match the words from A to I. Here we have estimate, evidence, experiment, explain, instrument, measure, observation, research, and theory. So we're going to match these words from 4 with the definitions. Okay. For example, estimate. What do we mean by estimate? Estimate means to calculate an approximate number or amount. Again, Dirishon, could you translate the word estimate here? Okay, brother. What do you mean by estimate?
تقديرا.
Okay, but here it's a verb. It's a verb, brother.
قدر.
Yes. Yes, يقدر. Yes, okay, you can say. So, dear students, yes. Okay. So, dear students, again, what about evidence?
شهادة.
Okay, what else?
الأدلة.
Okay. Okay. So, which one are you going to choose here? What about experiment? I'm sorry. Let's translate them all, then try to match. What about experiment? Again.
توضيح.
Oh,
تجربة.
experiment. Yes.
تجربة.
Yes, okay. In a lab, you mean? Okay. For example, what about explain?
يشرح.
يشرح.
Okay. Then what about instrument?
أداة.
Excellent. Then what about measure?
يقيس.
قياس.
Is it measurement or just measure?
يقيس.
Yes, it's a verb. What about observation?
مراقبة.
ملاحظات.
Okay. Observation. Observation or observations?
ملاحظة.
Yes. Yes, right. So what about research?
بحث.
Excellent. MashaAllah. So then what about theory?
نظرية.
Again?
نظرية.
Yes, okay. So, dear students, let's try to match the words here with their own definitions. Dear students, when I say estimate, it means that to calculate an approximate number or amount without the exact number. Don't forget. So, estimate here is something other than calculate. Okay, so don't forget, calculate to give the exact number, but estimate to try to calculate an approximate number or amount, maybe more or less. Do you understand? Again, dear students, when I say estimate, do you understand? We have estimate. Okay.
No,
what do you mean by estimate?
To calculate an approximate
more than one number.
Okay. Okay. Is it to give an exact number or the number exactly? Or
No.
yes, that's what I mean. But what if you calculate using your own calculator? Are you going to give the exact number?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the difference between estimate and calculate. So calculation means giving the exact number. Okay. But estimation means giving an approximate number or amount that could be more or less. Do you understand? Not the exact number.
Yes.
You mean around the
yes.
the
yes.
result?
The exact number. Yes, around the exact result. Yes.
Plus and minus.
Yes. So, dear students, it's just like an estimation, not exact result. Dear students, what about evidence?
3, Doctor. Number.
Yes, 3.
System of ideas that provide an
yes.
explanation. Yeah.
Okay, so evidence here means, again,
a system of ideas that provides an explanation for sometime.
Okay.
Something.
Okay. Yes, okay. So, dear students, okay. So, number B, facts or information. Okay, so evidence means facts or information that show something is true. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Again, thank you so much, dear students, again. But evidence means facts or information that show something is true. So what is the translation again of the word evidence?
Facts or information that
facts or information something.
Okay, so what is the translation of the word in the Arabic language? I mean, what do you mean by evidence? Yes. Yes. So as you said, dalil. Yes. What about number C? Experiment. Yes.
A scientific method of discovering or testing something.
Okay, a scientific method, yes, of discovering or testing something. Thank you so much, dear student. Do you agree with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about D? What do you mean by explain? Yes, so what are you going to choose? So one,
to give a reason something happens or exists.
yes, yes, number 7, as you said. Yes, to give a reason. So explain means to give a reason why something happens or exists. So what do you mean by explain again?
يشرح.
Okay, يفسر يشرح يذكر سبب. Okay, to give a reason why something happens or exists. What about the next word? What do you mean by instrument?
Number 9.
Which one? Yes, number 9. Yes, right. So a tool, an instrument is a tool that we use to test or measure something. Okay, what about number F, measure?
I think to find a
size, quantity of
find
something.
the size, weight, or quantity of something.
So this is to measure. Yes, right. To find the size, to measure the size, to find the weight, to measure the weight or quantity of something. Yes, you are right. Thank you so much, dear student. What about observation, number G? What do you mean by observation?
6, number 6.
Observation. Okay. So it's the process, yes, of noticing or watching something happen. So observation means noticing or watching something happen. Okay. So what about research?
Number 3.
Number 8. Number 3.
A system of ideas that provides an explanation of something.
Is it research or theory? What do you think? So try again.
Number 2. Number 2.
What do you think? Okay, number 2.
Oh, yes,
research. Do you agree with him? Okay, Hamid. Okay, Abdullah.
Yes.
So research means to investigate and study a subject. Yes. What do you mean by investigate and study a subject?
حقق.
Excellent. So investigate, to investigate and study a subject. Thank you so much, dear students. What about theory?
Number 3.
Number 3, a system of ideas.
Number 3.
Yes.
A system of ideas.
Yes, a system of ideas that provides an explanation for something. MashaAllah. Thank you so much, dear students. Let's check your answers. So here we have from A to F. then from D or from A to I. Done? Okay, dear students?
Yes, teacher, done.
Okay. Now, dear students, let's look at exercise 6. What can you see here? We have something written in red. What are the what do we mean? Verb, excellent, and yes, this laboratory. And noun, excellent. What do we mean by verb? Excellent. What about noun?
Ism.
Great. So, for example, if we have the noun explanation, so what is the verb?
Explain.
Explain. What about, yes, what about the verb of the noun estimation?
Estimate.
Estimate, excellent, or estimate. What about observe? What is the noun of the verb observe? Observation, excellent. What about the noun? We need the noun of the verb research. What is the noun? Research, okay. So what about the verb of the noun measurement? The verb measure, excellent. So what about the noun of the verb theorize? Theory, excellent, excellent, excellent. MashaAllah. So, dear students, let's check your answers. Done?
Done.
Okay, thank you. Now there's a turn over the page. Okay, so dear students, should we have a short break?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's have a short break, then come back.
Thank you, teacher.
You are welcome.
How many, doctor?
Just 10 minutes. No, just 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
I think it's better to have, it's
Yeah,
enough
it's
to
enough
have.
to me.
Yes.
Yes.
10 minutes are enough. صحبه ومن والاه في كل لمحة ونفس عدد ما وسعه علم الله. آمين يا رب العالمين. دير السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أجان.
عليكم السلام.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Again, dear students. Okay, so the same box. You need the same. This one is an electronic one. So it has a password and a username, and it could be used only by 3 or 4 computers. I mean, so but I think we have some PDF files. يعني في بعض النسخ PDF موجود فيها الكتاب بالضبط، يعني نفس الكتاب. What about the attendance? For the attendance, inshallah, once you log in to Teams, okay, you are registered as an attendee, okay, as present, I mean. يعني بمجرد دخولكم على التيمز بيتسجل تلقائي automatically الحضور يعني. Yes, there is a WhatsApp group. Yes, تفضل يا أستاذ خليل، تفضل.
Yes. بس تحطوا الرابط حق الجروب لأنه ماني مشرف عليه، بس تحطوا تتفضلوا تحطوا الرابط علشان الشباب الجدد، لأنه في ناس على الخاص دخلت لي أمس يبغوا الرابط.
اوكي إن شاء الله.
يعطيك العافية.
You are welcome. Okay, thank you so much, brother Hamid. Okay, thank you so much.
شكرا يا أستاذ عبد الله ودكتور عبد الفتاح والجميع.
You are welcome. You are welcome, Mr. Khalil. So, dear students, on page, that's the same page. On page 14, okay, we have exercise number 7. So, this is what are we going to study, or are we going to practice? Again, what does this icon stand for? Is it grammar, vocabulary, speaking, listening? What do you think?
Listening.
Yes, vocabulary. If you have so this is the listening. I'm sorry. This is the listening icon. Okay, this one.
Okay, teacher.
So this is for vocabulary. This one is for reading, and the last one is for listening. Okay, again. So it's for vocabulary. So we're going to practice vocabulary. Dear students, in pairs, choose the correct words from exercise 5 and exercise 6 to complete the sentences. Here we have exercise 5, okay, and exercise 6. Are you ready?
That's when we finish it, teacher.
Yes, we have finished, but we need them again. And by the way, highlight them as important. Highlight exercise 5 and exercise 6 as important, along with exercise 7. Number A. He gave a very clear explanation about the way radiation works. So explanation is used here. What about number B? Scientists space that the Earth gets 50,000 tons lighter every year. So what are you going to choose? Estimate. Excellent. So scientists estimate that the Earth gets. So what do you mean by scientists estimate that the Earth gets 50,000 tons lighter every year?
قدروا.
Yes.
العلماء قدروا أن الأرض تأتيها 500,000 طن من lighters every الضوء.
Okay, light here means is the opposite of heavy. You know heavy? Dear student, do you know what do you mean by heavy?
أثقل. الجاذبية.
ثقيل.
الجاذبية.
حاجة ثقيلة.
Yes, so here we have heavy, heavier. Okay? Heavier there. Okay? The opposite is, of course, the opposite is light, lighter. The opposite of heavy is light. Okay? The opposite of heavier is lighter. When you compare two things. Okay? So what do we mean by light here?
ضعيف.
Again?
ضعيف.
We have heavy. Heavy. What do we mean by heavy?
ثقيل.
Excellent. So what's the opposite of heavy?
خفيف.
Yes, right. Yes, right. Yes. So, I'm sorry. Could you mute your own microphone, please? Hamad? Okay. So here we have light as the opposite of heavy, and heavy and lighter as the opposite of heavier. So this is what do we mean by this sentence? When I say scientists estimate that the Earth gets 50,000 tons lighter every year.
أخف.
Excellent.
50,000.
Yes. You know ton?
Yes, tons.
Yes,
وزن
tons.
يعني أخف.
This is a measure. This is a measure for
the Earth's
weight. The weight.
Yes, for
of
the Earth's weight of the Earth. Yes, right, Mr. Khalid. So it means that every year the Earth gets lighter or becomes lighter. Okay. So this, what about number C? The increase in the number. Yes, go on. Go, Mr.
The
Khalid.
increase in the number of storms is strong of climate change.
Yes. So again, the increase in the number of storms is strong. What of climate change?
Evidence.
Evidence.
Yes, excellent. So what do we mean by the increase in the number? The increase in the number of storms is strong evidence of climate change.
ارتفاع في معدل الصواعق أو
storms.
دليل كافي.
You know strong winds. When a wind, for example, or when winds become stronger, this is called a storm. When a wind becomes stronger, this is called a storm. Do you understand the meaning of storms?
عاصفة.
Yes, here we have a plural noun here. So storms. So the increase in the number of storms, good. Go on, brother. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go on. Again, what do you mean by the increase in the number of storms is a strong evidence of climate change?
ارتفاع العواصف.
Excellent. The number of storms, yes.
number of storm دليل قوي بتغير المناخ.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brother Khalid. So the increase in the number of storms is a strong evidence of climate change. Here, we noticed that we didn't say a strong evidence. Did we say a strong evidence or just strong evidence?
Just strong.
Just strong. Why? Because the word evidence is countable or uncountable.
Countable.
Uncountable.
Uncountable. Excellent, Mr. Khalid. So it's an uncountable noun. I mean the word evidence. So we cannot say an evidence or 3 evidences or something like that. We can't say that. So it's just is strong evidence. Now, dear students, what about number D? The space done by scientists suggests that there probably is life on other planets.
The research.
The research, excellent, yes. So the research done by scientists suggests that there probably is life on other planets. Okay. Thank you so much, dear students. What about number E? Doctors, space.
Experiment.
Okay.
Observe.
Observe.
Yes,
Teacher.
yes, observe. Yes, it's observe. So doctors observe the effects of new drugs to see if they are effective or not. Now, number F. Newton developed the of gravity.
Theory.
Theory, yes, theory of gravity by observing natural phenomena. Dear student, what do you mean by phenomena?
Phenomena.
Yes.
ظاهرة.
Okay. Is it a plural noun or a singular noun?
Noun.
Plural or singular?
Singular.
What do you think?
Plural, teacher.
Yes, it's a plural noun. Phenomena is a plural noun. So what is the singular noun? Do you know? So it's phenomenon. This one. Yes. Yes, dear students, this one. So this one is the single.
ظواهر, teacher.
Yes. So phenomenon is singular. Okay. Is a singular noun. Okay, dear students?
Okay, teacher.
But phenomena is a plural noun. Okay, is a plural noun. Okay, dear students? Don't forget this point. So you can say a phenomena. A phenomena. So here we have American, you know American English and British English.
Yes, teacher.
So here we have. A phenomenon is singular, but but phenomena, as you can see here, is a plural noun. But this is a singular one. So this is the difference between the two words. So what do you notice here, dear students? What is the difference between, in spelling, I mean, between phenomena, a phenomenon, as a singular noun, and the phenomena as a plural noun? I mean, regarding spelling, what do you notice about the singular noun? yes,
EL
on
ON and A. So this is the only difference between them. Okay, so on here means that it's a singular noun. What do you mean by a phenomenon? The first one, I mean, the singular one.
ظاهرة.
Excellent. So what about phenomena? And ending in A. So yes, as you said. Yes. Thank you so much, dear students. Dear students, Newton developed the theory of gravity by observing natural phenomena. What do you mean by the theory of gravity? What do you mean by gravity?
نظرية.
Yes. Of what? Of gravity. Yes, right. By observing natural phenomena. How did Newton develop the theory of gravity?
By observing natural
phenomena. So what do you mean by observing natural phenomena?
يراقبها.
دليل الظواهر الطبيعية.
Excellent.
ظاهرة طبيعية.
Okay, but here we have a plural noun, the plural one.
ظواهر.
Yes, so dear students, thank you so much. Number G, we use a barometer to measure air pressure. Yes, thank you so much, dear students. Let's check your answers. So, dear students, do you understand? Dear students, should I repeat again? Should I repeat again? Is there anything that you don't understand? Okay, that's great. Okay. Now, dear students, listen. Look at exercise 8, of course. Listen to the people talk about the big questions in exercise 4 again. Answer the questions by completing the table. Okay? You are going to tick the correct speaker. For example, we have speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, and speaker 4. Then you are going to decide, is speaker 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 objective? Is he or she supported, I mean his argument or statement, supported by evidence? Is it clear and logical? I mean, what he says, what he or she says. Okay, dear students, before trying to answer this question or this exercise, we need to study more about, or to learn something more about objective and subjective arguments. Dear students, what do you mean by objective and subjective arguments?
موضوعي وغير موضوعي.
Okay, so you can say, excellent. So objective means, as you said, and subjective means the opposite of objective. To be personal, to be based on personal feelings, to be based on your own opinion or experience. This is called subjective. But to be fair, for example, and not influenced by your own personal feelings or your own personal experiences or etc., and based on facts, this is called objective. This could be called an objective argument. Dear students,
can I say logical or not logical?
Logical or not logical? Logical or not logical is something else. But I think you can say, but because sometimes I'm not sure of that exactly, because sometimes you give your own opinion, okay, after a minute study، بعد دراسة دقيقة. فأنا ما أقدرش أقول إنها ده هيكون logical وده illogical، اوكي.
أنا قصدي إنه الموضوعي يعني ممكن إنه ينحني في منحنى اللوجيكال، بس
yes you can say that.
والانسبجكت ممكن ينحني في
subjective yes
not logical.
يعني الاوبجكتيف بيكون مبني على facts
تقريبا، يعني
على حقائق.
هم مش قريبين من بعض، هذا موضوع وده موضوع.
نعم.
بس أنا إني قلت في ربط، يعني في منطقة ربط بينهم.
Yes. Sometimes it works. Okay. So objective here means based on facts. Just facts. Okay. But when you quote something, I'm sorry, when you quote or say something that belongs to your own point of view or your own opinion or your own feelings or something like that, this could be subjective. When you say, for example, I think means that this is a subjective statement or argument. Do you understand? Or when you say, for example, in my opinion, so it also means that this is a subjective argument. But when you say, for example, according to scientists, according to the glorious Quran, for example, according to the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, so this is called objective. Okay? Do you understand?
Yes, Doctor. Yes.
Because it's based on evidence, based on facts, etc. Okay? This is what we call objective. But when you quote or cite or state or say your own point of view, this is called subjective. Dear students, let's see page 22. Okay, to learn more about objective and subjective arguments. Dear students, in communication or while you communicate with other people, for example, you notice that some points of view or some ideas or sometimes you notice that there is something called objective and subjective, or that there are some arguments that could be described as objective and some other arguments that could be described as subjective. Dear students, what is a subjective argument? So a subjective argument is one which is based on personal feelings or opinions. Sometimes it's appropriate to be subjective. For example, when writing reviews of hotels you have stayed at or TV shows you have seen, for example. However, when presenting more serious, okay, and factual, factual here means based on facts, and factual topics, you should be objective. This means that you should talk about both sides of an argument. And refer to scientific evidence. Scientific evidence. What do you mean by scientific evidence?
دليل علمي.
Again?
دليل علمي.
Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right, of course. So, and refer to scientific evidence rather than voice your personal opinions. If you voice your personal opinions, in this case, you are going to be subjective. Okay? But you should base your arguments on facts so as to be objective. Dear students, look at exercise 1. What kind of argument do these phrases and sentences come from? Are they objective or subjective? When I say, for example, A, A significant number of scientists believe that. Is this an objective argument or a subjective argument? Again, a significant number of scientists believe that. So it's not my own point of view. It's based on facts and based on the scientists' point of views or points of view. So, dear student, what do you think? When I say a significant number of scientists believe that, do we call this
subject, doctor?
Subjective. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to check later. Then, dear students, okay, what about according to recent research? What do we call this? This phrase. According to recent research. So it's based on facts or not based on facts? When you say, are they based on your own personal feelings or opinions or according to recent research? Yes. So is it objective or subjective? Objective. Yes, right. When I say, for example, I am convinced that, what do you call this?
Subjective.
Excellent. Subjective. What about number D? In my view.
Subjective also, doctor.
Excellent. Number E. It is important to note, however, that, again, it's important to note, also. However, that, okay, we are going to check. What about if you say
maybe
subjective
maybe
or objective? Yes. So let's check. Okay. So, dear students, what about number F? It's possible that the harmful impact of X outweighs the beneficial effect of Y.
Objective because it's a possible.
Okay, we're
no,
going to check.
Objective.
Okay, we're going to check. Number G. Some experiments suggest that.
Objective.
Again.
Subjective.
Objective. Okay. Do you agree that it's that this statement? Okay. I'm sorry.
No.
That this introductory phrase is subjective or objective. Again, some experiments, yani according to some experiments. Okay. So what are you going to say?
Subjective.
According to. Okay. So what about the other students? What do you think? Try to think. I know it's sometimes confusing, but you can solve it. When I say some experiments suggest that, it means that a significant that there is a number of scientists who suggest that. So is it based on your own opinion? Is it based on your own feelings? Is it based on your own experiences? Well, I'm sorry, experience.
I'm sure subjective, doctor.
Okay. Now this is. I have no doubt that. When you talk about your own opinion, or when you state your own opinion and say, I have no doubt that.
Subjective.
Is it subjective or objective?
Subjective.
So what about some experiments suggest that? I mean number G. Again, subjective or objective?
I'm sure subjective.
So do you say I, in my opinion, or you refer to some experiments? What do you think again? So it's the last chance before we check. So which one? I mean
I'm not change, doctor. Objective.
Okay. So we're going to check. Number I. This observation is valid. Okay. But X must also be taken into account. What do you mean by this observation is valid? But X must also be taken into account. Again, this observation is valid. You know valid and validity? Okay?
Yes, خاطئ أو مش خاطئ.
You can say صالح أو غير صالح. Okay? So this observation is valid. But X must also be taken into account. What do you mean by must also be taken into account?
ولكن الإكس في الأغلب إنها taken into account موجودة في الحساب أو
yes أو is considered, you know, is considered. Must also be considered. You know what do you mean by considered, dear students? عارفين معنى considered يا شباب؟ considered يعني تؤخذ بعين الاعتبار. To be taken into account بمعنى ايه؟ to be considered يعني تؤخذ بعين الاعتبار. اوكي؟ So او تاخدها في حسابك. تعمل حسابك عليه. بالضبط كده. يعني تؤخذ بعين ايه؟ بعين الاعتبار. So is it objective or subjective?
Objective.
Okay. Number J. The way we see it. When you say the way we see it, or according to the way we see it, we see it, we feel it, we
objective.
Again? Okay. Now, dear students, let's check your answers. So number one, number A and B.
أهم حاجة روح على G يا دكتور. روح على G الأول بعد كده ناخذ.
Okay, this is G. Some experiments suggest that تقترح بعض التجارب المعملية أن يعني ما قالش أنا اللي بقول وده رأيي الشخصي وهكذا. يعني معناها objective موضوعي وليس قائما على الرأي الشخصي أو الشعور الشخصي وهكذا. ها؟
لا يا دكتور هو بيتكلم general. Some experiments يعني يقول لك بعض التجارب suggest that
بتقترح أن yes يعني ما قالش
رأيي طيب هذا غير
يعني ما قالش in my point of view I think
يعني
that
there is rules.
I have no doubt
يعني
that
there is rules يا دكتور نطبق الرولز
هي based on facts.
يعني مش أنا أخذتها يعني من ناحية زي ما قلت لك يا دكتور في البداية أنا أخذتها من لوجيكال ونوت لوجيكال كده.
معلش بس باقي واحدة يا دكتور ممكن تنزل السكرين شوية.
اوكي برودر.
جي.
طيب dear students, let's concentrate on the subjective so as to be يعني explained يعني so as to understand it okay better. Dear students, notice, could you read all the subjective phrases or sentences? For example, what is the first subjective phrase, for example? Number C. Is this right? So could you read it?
I'm confident.
Yes, convinced.
Convinced that.
Yes. Okay. اوكي. طبعا استاذ خليل اكيد في الدوام عارف او لسه طالع من الدوام او حاجه زي كده. So dear students, I'm convinced that. Okay, so what do you mean by I'm convinced that? Dear students, do you know?
أكد من ذلك.
يعني مقتنع أن أو عندي قناعة بأن. Okay, so I'm convinced that. So this is a subjective statement or subjective. So what else? What about the second subjective phrase?
In my view.
My view. Excellent. What about number?
I have no doubt that.
Okay. So I have no doubt that. This is also a subjective I'm sorry, phrase. Introductive phrase.
The way we see it.
The way we see it. The way we feel it. The way, which means in our point of view or points of view. Okay? In our point of view. So it's subjective. So what about the objective ones? Now let's check the objective ones. So what about number A? Could you read it, please?
A significant number of scientists believe that.
Excellent. What about the second, the next objective one?
According to recent research.
Good. Did he say, in my view? Did he say, I am convinced that? Or did he say, I have no doubt that?
Objectives talk about personal opinion, right, Doctor?
Yes, right. This is subjective.
Okay.
Dear students, what about the second one? The second objective one.
Important to note, however, that.
Yes, right. What about then?
Possible that the harmful impact of X outweighs the potential effect of Y.
Excellent. Then, I'm sorry.
Some experiments.
This observation. Some experiments suggest that.
Great. What about the next one? The next objective one.
This observation is valid, but X must also be taken into account.
ما قالش أنا ولا وي ولا أي شيء. So it's an objective argument.
يعني باختصار يا دكتور لما بتكلم عن نفسي أو بتكلم عن مجموعة أو مجموعة بيتكلم عن نفسهم بيكون subjective.
Yes, right.
ولما بيكون يعني نظرية أو حاجة
قائمة على
طبيعية
آراء علماء، قائمة على آراء علماء آخرين، خلاص، أو حقائق أخرى، خلاص، غير رأيي الشخصي،
أو حقائق علمية يعني.
أو حقائق علمية طبعا. اوكي، ده بيكون
حاجة مثبتة خلاص
objective. What do you mean by objective again?
موضوعي.
Excellent. That's it. So, dear students, I hope that you could understand the difference between objective and subjective arguments. Now, dear students, let's go to another exercise. Let's go back. I'm sorry. Now, dear students, listen to the people talk about the big questions in exercise 4. Again, answer the questions by completing the table here. Pick the correct speaker. Okay? For example, which speakers give an objective answer? Number B, are their answers supported by evidence? Number C, do the speakers give a clear, logical explanation? So this one, let's listen and check together.
1. Scientists estimate that about 25% of the time we are asleep is spent dreaming. But why do we dream?
Again, dear students, Are you ready to decide if the speaker is objective or subjective?
25% of the time we are asleep.
One.
Yes,
Again.
doctor.
Scientists estimate that about 25% of the time we are asleep.
What do you think? Is the speaker one objective
doctor.
or subjective?
Objective.
Objective.
Excellent, excellent.
Is spent dreaming. But why do we dream? Some experiments suggest that dreams help our brain to organize information. Each day, your brain collects a lot of new information. This could be something very simple, like the color of a car you saw, or something more complicated, such as an exam you prepared for. Your brain decides which information to forget and delete, and which to keep stored in the memory. Research shows that dreams play an important part in this process.
2.
Edwin Hubble, an American astronomer, created a new instrument, the Hubble telescope, which is powerful enough to measure light from 10 to 15 light years away. Hubble's observations have provided evidence that supports the Big Bang theory. According to the Big Bang theory, the universe was smaller, denser, and hotter than anything we can imagine. Then, suddenly, it exploded. In less than a second, the universe went from being smaller than an atom to being bigger than a galaxy. Astronomers estimate that this happened approximately 14 billion years ago. It is important to note, however, that a significant number of scientists believe that the Big Bang theory does not explain how all the matter in the universe came from nothing. It seems that more research is required before we can be sure.
Okay, Dirsun, what do you think?
Objective, teacher.
One, 2, 3, objective.
Okay.
And 4 also.
Are you sure? So
Yes,
1, 2.
Okay. 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, let's check.
1, 2, and 3.
Yes. So this is 3. Okay. So
1, 2, like this. 1, 2 objective.
Okay, 1, 2 are objective. Yes, you are right, and even clear and logical. Do you agree with me or with Mr. Khalid? I mean, they are speaker 1 and speaker 2 are objective. Okay, they quote clear and logical statements. Okay, or arguments. Okay, so what about number 3? Yes, you are right, dear students.
Before we can be sure.
3.
Again, doctor.
There's a website
Again,
I
3.
read where they talk about all the strange things in the sky that people see. You know, UFOs, that's unidentified flying objects. Every year, hundreds of people see things in the sky, like bright lights, and nobody knows what they are. But I think they are alien spaceships.
I think. What does it stand for? So
Objective,
when you say objective, when you say I think, so is it objective or subjective?
Subjective, supported
subjective,
by,
of course. It's supported by my own point of view.
Evidence.
Okay, so it's not logical. So, dear students, what about speaker 3?
Subjective also, doctor.
Subjective, yes.
And it's all top secret. The government knows that there are aliens out there, but they don't tell us because they don't want people to be frightened. But I'm not scared, actually. They probably are very friendly.
4.
Okay. So what about number 4? Let's listen and check.
When we make a decision, do we really make the decision? Do we have a choice? Let me explain. When you put a shirt on in the morning, how do you decide which shirt? Let's say you chose the cleanest one. Why? Because you have a tutorial today and society tells us to wear clean shirts, not dirty shirts, for tutorials. So we don't make a decision. It was already made. We just don't know it.
So what do you think? I mean, speaker 4.
Objective or subjective? Or supported by evidence.
Evidence. So
supported by evidence.
Yes. So dear students, what do you think?
Subjective.
Subjective. So Mr. Khalil says that number 4 is subjective. What do you think, dear students? Okay, no problem. No problem, inshallah. Our electricity is gone, so I gone out. Yes, of course you are present. Okay. So dear students, again, the last one. So this is not according to me. It's according to the writer of the textbook, of the course book. Okay. So speaker 4 is objective, and his statement or his argument is clear and logical. That's it. Thank you so much, dear students. Let's go to yes. وهو المشكله يا استاذ خليل ان هو بيتكلم في نقطه الايه الحريه والاختيار وهكذا. وضحت؟
بيتكلم عن نفسه اصلا.
بيتكلم عن نفسه.
بيتكلم عن حريه الاختيار.
عارف. اوكي.
معناته كده ما فيش قاعده محدده، يعني هي ترجع حسب رايك انت او منطقك انت. ايش هو منطقي او غير منطقي؟
هو المؤلف منحاز للاخ ده. انا ده اللي كل اقدر اقوله بس. لكن الحمد لله مش هتيجي في الاختبار، يعني مش هتيجي في الاختبار بالشكل ده طبعا خالص.
ايوه.
So dear students، ولكن العبارات هنركز دايما في العبارات اللي هي يعني اللي بتعطي being يعني an objective argument. اوكي. دايما العبارات دي يا شباب اللي زي ما قلنا كده عليها في صفحه on page 22 دي اللي بنركز عليها. اعرف العبارات دي. العبارات لما بتتكلم عن to be an objective، ميز بينها وبين to be subjective in your argument. اوكي.
يعني دي يا دكتور يعني هتجي لنا في الاختبار زي كده، يعني مثلا question يجينا objective or subjective؟
والله يا استاذ خليل يعني مش متاكد، ولكن لازم نعرف معنى الكلمتين دول لانهم مهمين جدا. مهمين. شوف احنا فهمناها ازاي. يعني حتى لما تيجي تكتب مقاله مثلا، او لما تيجي تكتب شيء او حاجه، شيء علمي، تكون دراستكم دراسه علميه، فبتكون مبنيه على الحقائق، يعني هتكون اوبجكتيف. وضحت؟ يعني كلها هتكون ايه؟ اوبجكتيف. ده اهم شيء تعرفه من الحين يعني. Okay. Now dear students. So now dear students, let's go back here to 1B. Okay, and I'm going to show you the important points. Dear students, when I say, for example, so when I say questions and answers, revision of tenses, lesson B, okay, is going to concentrate on grammar. And this is the second important point or area that we need to focus on. يبقى lesson 2 يا شباب اللي هو B يعني هيركز على الجرامر. الجرامر ده مهم جدا طبعا. بعد after the يعني comes next to vocabulary. Okay, so this you need to concentrate on the grammar focuses. Okay, don't forget, I mean the grammar focus boxes. Okay, dear students, don't forget, this is very important. When I say, for example, look at exercise 2. Match the categories, I mean from A to F, A, B, C, D, E, and F, okay, with the questions. Okay, what is the rarest blood type? Who discovered penicillin? Has a dog ever been into space? Will there ever be a cure for cancer? Number 5, is the number of malaria cases going down? Number 6, are European Union countries going to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases they produce? Okay, when you see questions like this, like these ones, okay, here, and try to match. When I say which one is fact or expresses facts and information, of course the first one. What is the rarest blood type? So he's asking about a particular piece of information which is based on facts. What is the rarest blood type? So this is based on facts and information. But what about who discovered penicillin? Is it experiences or past events or future predictions? So choose. Who discovered?
Experiences.
Okay. So which tense is this sentence in? Dear students, it's 6 o'clock and you can leave, by the way. Dear students, it's 6 o'clock and you can leave.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. If you would like to continue, we can continue. I mean, we can answer exercise 2 and 3 only. Or exercise 2 and the grammar focus. That's it. So if you would like, if you have some other engagements, you can go, by the way. Okay, dear students. So who discovered? Which tense is this verb in?
Past events.
Again, past events. Excellent. So it's a past simple. So it's past events. What about has a dog ever been into space? Has a dog ever been or been into space? So is it experiences or future predictions?
Future prediction.
But when you say has a dog ever been?
So it's past, not the future.
It's present perfect. You know present perfect? Have, yes. Has plus past participle. So this expresses experiences. Okay, experiences. What about will there ever be a cure for cancer? What do you call this? Future predictions. Excellent. With, how did you know? Well, excellent. So once you see well, it means that it could be a future prediction. Okay, so because you are not sure. What about when I say, for example, number 5, is the number of malaria cases going down? Is it plans and intentions or current situations and trends? Yes, brother.
Current situation.
Yes, current situations and trends. Yes, you are right. We are describing something which is happening around the present time. بنصف شيء يحدث في الوقت الراهن. Okay, so using the present continuous tense is plus verb plus ing. Is the number of malaria cases going down? So this is, we can call this current situations and trends. When I say, for example, are European Union countries going to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases they produce? So it means that plans and intentions. So this is the last point, plans and intentions. But how did you know that this sentence, I mean number 6, expresses plans and intentions? How do you know?
Going to.
Excellent. So when we use going to, MSR, going to plus infinitive, it means that you are talking about plans and intentions. Is that right? Okay, so here we have are plus going to plus infinitive. Are European Union's countries going to reduce? So it means that this structure is used to talk about plans and intentions. Do you see what do you mean by intentions? Intentions.
تنرفز أو
No, not tense, not tension. It's intention. You know,
intention.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. When you say, for example, intention is more important than the action. The intention is more important than the action. Or when we say, for example, actions are but by intentions. You know, إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Actions are but by intentions. إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. اوكي، ده اول حديث يا شباب بيبقى دايما في كتب الحديث، في كتب السنه. ليه؟ لان النيه اهم شيء في اهم من العمل. نيه المرء طبعا ايه؟ خير من عمله. ودايما لازم تكون النيه صافيه وخالصه.
بس الزمن ده عكس
علماء الحديث يعني ربنا يسامح الجميع، لكن الزمن ده يا شباب يعني، او اقصد لذلك علماء الحديث رضي الله عنهم وحطوا الحديث، وضعوا الحديث ده في بدايه الكتب، كتب الاحاديث، كتب السنه. يعني الامام البخاري، الامام النووي، اوكي، وهكذا. وضعوا حديث انما الاعمال بالنيات ده في بدايه، حتى واحنا في الازهر زمان لما كنا بندرس في الازهر، في الازهر الشريف يعني، كنا بندرس اول ما تفتح كتاب الحديث في اول سنه مثلا في دراسه الحديث، كان يقول لك ايه الحديث الاول؟ انما الاعمال بالنيات وانما لكل امرئ ما نوى. So dear students, intentions means النوايا. Plans طبعا الخطط as you know. So plans and intentions are expressed by using going to structure, going to plus infinitive. Okay, don't forget. Let's check your answers quickly. So for facts, we used, for example, this what is the rarest blood type is an example of facts and information. Has a dog ever been to into space? Refers to experiences. Who discovered penicillin? Okay, means that it's a past event. Will there ever be a cure for cancer? This is called future predictions with will. Once you see will, so it could be a future prediction. Are European countries going to reduce the amount of green gases they produce? So are plus subject plus going to plus infinitive. So it means that intention, it refers to intention, plans and intentions. The current situations and trends, you can use the present continuous tense. So is the number of malaria cases going? So am is are plus verb plus ing to talk about current situations and trends. Okay, so the present continuous, I mean. Dear students, screenshot the answers. Okay, then send to your classmates. Done. Now, for the last point of today's lecture, on page 15, we have a grammar focus here. Okay, so it's still a revision of tenses. So these students are going to complete the rules with words from the box. Find examples of each tense in the questions in 2. These are the questions in 2. What is the rarest blood? Who discovered penicillin, etc. Dear student, we use the what to talk about things that are general true. Do we use going to past simple, present perfect, present simple, or will. To talk about things that are generally true. Facts, I mean. To talk about facts.
Present simple.
Present simple, excellent. Number 2, we use the, okay, to talk about current activities or current situations.
Present continuous.
Present continuous, excellent. Number 3, we use the space to talk about experiences and events that happened in the past and may happen in the future. When you say, for example, has it ever been into space? So which tense do we use to talk about experiences and events that happened in the past
present
and
perfect.
May happen? Present perfect, excellent. We use what to talk about finished past events? Okay, which tense do we use? Yes, past simple, excellent. Now, dear students, we use what to talk about possible future events? Going to or will?
Present.
Will.
Possible future events or predictions about predictions or future predictions with will. Okay?
Going to.
It's just will. Okay, again, when you say, for example, will there ever be a cure for cancer? This is a future prediction. To predict the future or events in the future. Dear students, again, to talk about, we use will, again, we use will to talk about future events or possible future events or future predictions. Okay, now we use what to talk about future plans and intentions.
Going to.
Yes, M is R. Okay, plus going to plus infinitive. Thank you so much, dear students. Let's check your answers. Okay, so it's exercise. It's the grammar focus, revision of tenses, and these are the answers to check. Dear students, do you have any questions? Dear students, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you understand? Okay. Now, so dear students, this was our lecture for today. See you tomorrow. See you next week.